You want to sing the Money in the
Here
Bank
comes
theme
the
song?
money.
There you go.
Money, 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 money. There you go.
Dollar, 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 dollar. And that brings us into Money in the Bank. So overall, this was probably the best pay-per-view of the year so far for me.
Interesting.
What say you?
It was good.
Okay.
But I think there's recency bias. I still think night one of WrestleMania was better.
I consider that the previous year. Because
Oh,
WrestleMania is the Super Bowl.
yeah. In that case, then yeah, this would be the best. Even then, now I know you didn't like it, but Backlash was pretty good.
Which one was Backlash?
Bad Bunny.
Oh, fuck that. Fuck that shit. No.
I know, that's what I said. I know you didn't like it, but
That was awful.
it was a special night. Bad Bunny, Savio Vega, Calito. I don't know what I'm doing.
Those are nice little
accents.
moments, but yeah, I'm looking at this card and no, it doesn't come close to me.
Fair enough.
The abortion that was Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest. And now,
Match of the year candidate.
Damian Priest could potentially be the world heavyweight champion. Let that sink in. Stupid.
Well, it was the match of the year candidate.
How?
You just have to.
No, you don't have to.
You have to understand.
I'm sorry, what?
I said you just have to understand.
Understand what?
I'm not trying to change your mind.
No. Tell me, what do I have to understand?
The Bad Bunny appeal. That's what it is.
The shitty rapper?
The appeal.
He has the same appeal as Snooki did.
Let's just forget about Bad Bunny. Let's talk about Money in the Bank. There's no sense in talking about Bad Bunny.
Anyway, this was the best match or pay-per-view of the year so far. We start off with the men's Money in the Bank contest, which is good because that means that whoever wins, there's a lingering chance that they could cash in at some point this evening, depending on when presumably Rollins would be wrestling.
Yeah, that was one of the things I said that I hoped happened. At least give the illusion that we're going to get cash in. So yeah, I like the placement of where this match was.
So it really wasn't too much to it. It was a standard multi-person ladder match. Everybody started off beating on Logan Paul. Paul tried to form an alliance with Damian Priest, and it failed miserably. Priest won, and the only thing I'll say is the way that they teased, they did a couple teases. The way they teased Knight, the way they teased, fuck me, even Butch, Mouthpiece McFingerbang. I knew Shinsuke wasn't going to win, so there's no but obviously, yeah, but there was a tease with Logan Paul. And I honestly thought that they were going to go with LA Knight. I almost congratulated you. I was about to send you that text, but Priest won.
He did.
It was exciting. I'll give him that, but it wasn't anything special.
Yes, and now we already got people asking if this was the right decision.
Damian Priest
winning, was it the right decision? And the only reason I say that is because, and when not even talking about just like the rise of LA Knight, just that night, how the people were reacting to LA Knight. Would it have been the right moment to give him the briefcase, let the place freaking erupt with the reaction? Now, of course, if you did that, then the rest of the night was going to fail in comparison.
I'd say give him a meaningful feud first. He had a feud with Bray Wyatt. It was awful. He feuded with various members of the New Day, and that was meh. But he hasn't had like a real proper feud.
Yes, which makes it even more special that creative's really given him nothing, and he's made something out of it.
True. So what I'm saying is, though, if he wins the Money in the Bank briefcase, then it's just his trajectory is he just holds on to that briefcase until whenever. But now if he gets into a program with Logan Paul, you can kind of get to know him better, get to see what he can do, get to empathize with him more. They can build him up.
Well, I was going off of, win-loss record-wise, he's not been built to be, like, championship level yet. Yes, he's over with the fans, but he's still in some high-profile wins before he's, like, in a championship conversation.
To be fair, Priest hasn't either.
Well, I mean, the trajectory of Priest, and I said it a couple weeks back, I think they're building him a little bit too much here. Main event Backlash, main event Monday Night Raw, heavyweight title match, in the main event against Seth Rollins. For what it's worth, it's still a heavyweight title match.
He ain't winning.
No, but he's in that position.
You gotta win. Eventually, you're just gonna be the Bills.
Well, Butch has not been in a world heavyweight title match.
Thank God.
Santos Escobar, he's not been in a title match.
Why was he dressed like a raccoon?
I don't know. It's probably some heritage thing.
Oh, God.
I tried not to. Logan Paul, Ricochet. No, I think Ricochet's had a title match.
Who cares?
I think a couple of years ago against Brock Lesnar when he got squashed and didn't get any offense at all.
Good.
So, yeah, outside of all that, Priest, Logan Paul, Ricochet. Those are the only guys who have had a title match that were in that match. So there's at least that. He's competed for the title. So at some point they thought he was, enough of a draw, or they had enough confidence in him to put him in a title match. Yeah, he didn't win it, but I'm saying at least getting put in a title match is something. Like,
if you're positioned in a way in the spot where you're consistently losing the big moments, then no, that's not something that's degrading, especially if one of them happens to be a non-wrestling musician.
Okay. Are you making the like it almost sounds like you're on my side saying LA Knight should have held that briefcase up at the end of this night?
I don't know who should have. I know it shouldn't have been Logan Paul because he just had a match with Roman. I mean, he tried the best of the best, and like we saw him already do all that, and and it seems like he's going to be part-time anyway. So if the idea of Seth's belt is to wrestle every day, that's not going to work out for Logan.
Yeah, wrestle in the subway.
Right.
24/7 hardcore title.
I'm in Dale's backyard wrestling federation putting up my title belt.
Yeah.
You see like just iPhone footage. Just...
Yeah, got that little zoom in thing where it's all grainy.
I wouldn't have been sad if LA Knight won. It just depends on where they're going, man.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. So if LA Knight did win, like I said, feud-wise, he hasn't been built up enough to be there.
Right.
But I was going under the assumption that you put Money in the Bank on him, and then you start to build him up. So he doesn't immediately cash in. Maybe you wait until like almost next year or something, and you just let him stack up wins, stack up wins, stack up wins. Maybe even get into some higher profile matches, like maybe go against Edge. I don't know who else. Bobby Lashley, just get some high profile matches, win those clean. Now we're starting to take him more serious. And, oh, by the way, he still has Money in the Bank. And then when he cashes in, now we can see him as a legitimate champion.
I just don't like when they use Money in the Bank as a way to... They use it as a way to elevate somebody as opposed to already having somebody elevated get an opportunity for it.
I would have to disagree with you there.
Okay.
I think Money in the Bank, like the intention of it should be to have a mid-card guy get the briefcase, and now we can say, okay, now he's like on his path to be a main eventer, like a step up, like what the Intercontinental title used to be. Back in the day, you get the Intercontinental title. Now you're the workhorse champion.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that only the Roman Reigns and the Hulk Hogan should win the Money in the Bank match. What I'm saying is that somebody believable, that somebody that you're already rooting for. I don't want to be invested in somebody just because they have a briefcase.
Okay.
I'd rather already be a fan of them. I'd rather enjoy what they do and already be rooting for them.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like they use the briefcase as a tool to get somebody over as opposed to already having somebody over get the tool.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I see your side. I'm on the other side of it. And I also think like there's people who are like, so like, let's say Cody was in the match. He doesn't need a Money in the Bank to get a title match.
Absolutely not.
Like people like that, I would say they're above needing a Money in the Bank. Brock Lesnar's like the year he won it. It's like, why did he win it? He can just literally ask for a title match and he'll get one, and it's believable.
I think that's nice to do every now and then, I guess. Like, I don't know, that time when Cena didn't have the belt for a while and he was in the Money in the Bank match.
Yeah, I don't think he needed it either.
And you don't see any of the undercard get elevated with it.
Well, you see, that's a good point. So Edge, he was a perfect example. He was a mid-card guy.
But he was already super over. He's my prime example. He was already over.
That's my example.
But it's my example too. He was already super popular. He was already super over. Everybody loved the Brood. And then he gets that Money in the Bank briefcase.
And you're like, okay, now he's next.
Right. Now that's just another step. He didn't become something because of the briefcase. He was already something. And then he won the briefcase.
Yeah. And it's also kind of like what the King of the Ring used to be.
Yeah.
Like whoever won the King of the Ring, you can tell, okay, now they're about to put the strap to this guy.
Yep. But then, I don't know, the Money in the Bank briefcase, it seems like established people win it as opposed to letting somebody that maybe not necessarily hasn't had that moment before get that moment.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've spent too much time on this match. Sounds like the wrong person won in your eyes.
I'm just asking the question.
Yeah.
It'll make good for a clip because, that's the hot topic conversation right now.
It's a good thing that they could have gone a couple different ways as opposed to just like there's one person that was going to win it, you know?
Yeah. So I think this all is like on purpose, that they're cock teasing you essentially with LA Knight. I think this is all on purpose to get him more over. Yes,
Oh, of course.
he's getting the big reaction, but he's getting the big reaction because people think that management is not utilizing him, or their management doesn't know what they have in LA Knight. And I think that's part of the ploy to get him more over.
Well,
Because the
anybody
more
that thinks that is stupid, though. He's on TV all the time. He's in prominent. He was in a prominent feud with Bray Wyatt, regardless of how retarded it was. He was there. They've been using him.
Yeah. Oh, and he's on the SummerSlam graphic. And they kept advertising all night that he's a little downloadable character in the WWE 2K game, which I saw that on SmackDown. I was like, did they just spoil Money in the Bank? Because they're like, oh, claim your Money in the Bank downloadable character packs or whatever the hell that is. I don't know. I'm so far out of the 2K loop.
Well, the only issue with LA Knight right now is he's in the mid card. He needs to be in the main event tier.
Yeah, I think this is on purpose. They're trying to do let's keep him racking up losses or something. He's going to get more over. Almost like a Kofi Kingston or Daniel Bryan. The list goes on of those people who just keep getting, buried, and I put that in quotes, by management, only for them to finally break out. I think this is all just a ploy from WWE. They're just playing everybody. And again, LA Knight is on the graphics. Everything you see on the commercials, LA Knight is there. They know what they have. They're just stringing everybody along to get him to the stratosphere. And that's all I want to say about that.
All right. We have Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler versus No Definition Rodriguez and Liv Morgan. Notice that she doesn't have her stupid haircut anymore. There was a point where Baszler has a chokehold on Liv Morgan, and then Rousey gets her in an ankle lock, and then it's broken up. And Barrett says that Liv Morgan couldn't have tapped because both Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler had her in the hold. Like they were both inside the ring, which makes absolutely no fucking sense because just the week prior to that, they did a double submission move against Unholy Union.
They sure did.
So there really wasn't anything to this match either. The only thing of note is Shayna Baszler turns on Ronda Rousey. And it was probably one of the best turns I've seen in a while. Just me personally. Baszler chokes out Ronda, and it's one of those chokes where Ronda passes out, quote unquote, and then 2 seconds later she's crawling around, she's fine without the assistance of, somebody smacking her on the face, no smelling salts, just on her own.
Well, people, there's a light choking out where you come to without needing smelling salt.
Yeah, but usually somebody's
pretty risque in the bedroom, and there's some choking out and passing out, and you just come back to. I'm just kidding. Don't take me serious on that. There was a joke there. I wanted to take it, so here we go.
Don't apologize for a joke.
I'm just saying I don't want people to take me serious.
If they do, they do. Fuck them. He does. He really chokes him out. He's murdered 2 of them.
Golly. Well, RIP this video.
Where was I?
Ronda, she comes back to from the choke.
Yeah. So she's crawling around. Why, Shayna? Why? So then No Definition Rodriguez and Liv Morgan, they smell blood. They both gang up on Rousey, and they win the titles back, which makes absolutely no fucking sense as to why they did that unification match if they're going to break up the team that's going to win the next week. Literally. Does that make sense to you?
It does not.
I don't get it.
I got a lot to say about this one, so let me.
Okay. Let me just. Yeah. That's all I got. I'm pissed off for Unholy Union because they were so awesome last week I just feel like they've been done dirty. But go ahead, all yours.
All right, this match. First of all, shout out to Liv Morgan in the ankle lock. If you know, you know. When they came out in the entrance, Shayna Baszler, Ronda Rousey was cosplaying as Majin Buu. Or, no, I thought she was because she had the M on her forehead. I thought she was cosplaying as Majin Buu. But then she took her gi off, and turns out she was actually cosplaying as Vegeta.
Oh.
and it was not accurate. I just want to point that out. That was the first thing that got me a little triggered on this match. Yeah, I'm not the biggest Dragon Ball Z fan. Like I haven't seen like, every single episode or anything like that. But what I do know is her top was not accurate to having the M on the head. Those are two different versions of Vegeta. If you're gonna do the cosplay, do it right. That's
Well,
like,
it doesn't surprise me that Ronda would like only get half of it right.
yeah, she went like the old school Vegeta, and then the newer school Vegeta was the one with the M on the head, but he wasn't wearing that outfit that she had on. That's old school Vegeta. That's the one who came and challenged Goku at the beginning. The one she was the one she was cosplaying was like a fusion of Majin Buu. That's why he had the M on the head. So yeah, it was completely inaccurate. That's one thing. And then did I mention, Liv Morgan in the ankle lock? I wanted to shout that out again because that was a special moment. And I thought I missed something because I didn't understand why why Shayna turned on Ronda Rousey. I'm like, did I miss something on Raw? Did I miss something in this match? Like, it seemingly came out of absolutely nowhere.
No, and the sad thing is because again, the Unholy Union was fucking awesome last week, and Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler were half of that, and to be completely honest with you, this wasn't that bad of a match. And I'm thinking to myself, are they actually getting better? And sure enough, at that point, that's when Shayna Baszler turns on him. So no, there's no precursor. There was no, like, Ronda didn't steal a victory from Shayna.
Yeah, there wasn't no like bumping or
Yeah,
not even an argument between the two.
well,
Like they didn't even butt heads at all.
Well, they even said when they were coming out, the commentary, well, they're friends forever.
Yeah, so just a completely left field attack, which I'm fine with.
That should have been the first clue, to be honest with you. They've done that before.
That was my initial reaction. Then I started to think about it. Now, obviously, this is not going to happen, okay? But it could happen. What was Ronda Rousey doing before she got to WWE? What is her big thing that she was known for?
Being a hottie.
Well, before that, or
yeah, UFC.
I'll just do it.
UFC.
Ronda Rousey, before she got to WWE, her big thing was being in the UFC. Lesser of that, Shayna Baszler, before she was in WWE, her thing was in the UFC.
Was she UFC? I thought she was just Bellator.
I think she had like 4 matches in the UFC.
Okay.
She was okay. We'll just say MMA.
No. I mean, if she was in UFC, she was in UFC. I'm not diminishing that. It was a genuine question.
So we have 2 MMA fighters. Hold on. Endeavor just bought the WWE, who is also owns the UFC. So what if we're going? Now you see where I'm going with this. What if we're going Shayna Baszler, Ronda Rousey at SummerSlam, but in a UFC fight, a real UFC fight, not like Fight Pit. Talking about real. They go train from now. They train to SummerSlam. They got the camps. They got the mouthpiece. They got the hair braided up. They got the 9-ounce gloves. The whole shebang. We're going actual UFC fight because these are 2 of UFC fighters.
I see that working to a point. I think at this point, Ronda is past the stage in her life where she wants to get punched in the face for a living, for real.
Funny you say that. There's a report floating around. Now, not a credible source, but there's a report. Something about Amanda Nunes has retired from UFC.
Oh, has she?
Yes. So there's this rumor that Dana White, because he needs star power in the women's division, has thrown the checkbook at Ronda Rousey, and she is considering going back to UFC.
Yeah, I mean, she can, but she's kind of already been exposed. She might be good at judo, but as we saw with Holly Holm, who's a kickboxer, she tore her up. Amanda Nunes, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, kicked her ass, tore her up. Ronda's older, her competition's younger. I don't know. It's just not a good idea.
I'm sure it isn't, but I'm just telling you that's what there's a report starting to float around there.
Isn't there always a report every now and then saying that she's going to go back?
Well, this being because of that Nunes retired and they need the star power, so they think let's bring in Ronda Rousey. Maybe she doesn't win, but the drawing power that I'm sure she still has to, at least for one match. Oh, Ronda Rousey makes her 7-year return to the octagon. That's a draw. Even Anderson Silva, after he broke his leg against Chris Weidman and then he came back, that was a big moment when he came back. So yeah, at least for if they do like a one more match thing, of course that will pop UFC tickets. So
Yeah.
maybe she wants to do that. But anyway, that's the
Did you
again, that's
see
just throwing
Ronda's
it out.
last two fights?
No.
Did you see her fight against Holly Holm
Yeah.
or Amanda Nunes?
No. After she lost, she was done to me. Like,
Okay,
well,
yeah.
it's over. The luster's gone.
It wasn't that she lost; it was the way she lost. She looked like she didn't belong.
Well, Holly Holmes was putting them hands on her.
Yeah,
She
Holly
wasn't ready
Holm.
for her to get boxed up like that.
Holly Holm was a little bit more cerebral, but Amanda Nunes was like a pit bull.
Yeah, I didn't see that fight.
When we're done, go watch it. It's only a few seconds.
It ain't gonna take much time.
No. Any final thoughts?
No, that's just my wild hair tinfoil hat theory that they're gonna do this and just like the amount of like buzz that would get. Oh, they're doing a UFC fight in the WWE. Of course, they would still be determined.
What if they
So
did?
now you got to think about like, oh well, Shayna Baszler, you're gonna go do this real fight, but you need to take the loss. You're gonna have to get your ass knocked out. Or whatever, you're gonna get submitted. I mean, it's just gonna have to happen. You can't be beating Ronda Rousey. But what if I beat her? No, you can't. You have to throw the fight.
What if they do like a fight pit match on like a UFC 300 or whatever?
As long as it's real, it can't be throwing out the. Like if you're going anything UFC related, like it's got to be real. It's almost like Butterbean versus Bart Starr.
Bart Gunn.
Bart Gunn, and he got his ass knocked out.
Yeah.
I almost forgot about that whole thing. So see, they've done it something like that before.
That's funny. That's a classic case of a guy that wins a couple bar fights and thinks he can be a boxer.
Yeah, and he got his ass knocked out. Oh boy, that was funny.
Yeah, that was basically the Amanda Nunes and Ronda Rousey fight.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Was that bad?
Yeah. There's a part where she's going down and Nunes still hits her again. It's great.
Like, not yet.
Yeah. All right, so where are we at? Damian Priest backstage because he won, and he tells the lady to call him Senor, which that's important. And then he lists off all the belts that he can cash in on, and it doesn't matter which belt it is because he's going to win it. I got goosebumps.
He's a senior in the bank.
Yeah, whatever. Now, we have Riddle versus Gunther. Of course, Riddle has pigtails, so why not? And like I said earlier, I believe his nail color of choice this evening was pink, carnation pink.
There you go.
After Kaiser does his introductions, him and Vinci, they go to the back, which that was a good sign. I like that. So then the match starts, and it was awesome. It was a Gunther match. Riddle did his kicks the way Gunther did his chops. So it was kind of interesting to see, and he's an MMA fighter. So it's interesting to see that a wrestler versus whatever the fuck Matt Riddle is supposed to be.
A brawler.
So Riddle keeps coming at Gunther, but then Gunther ultimately uses his strength. He's overpowering Riddle. There's a part where Gunther gets mad and he just tears the tape off of Riddle's injured ankle, which I loved. They don't do that anymore. It does nothing. I can't imagine how a thin layer of tape would protect you either way. But
as someone who's had an ankle injury once or twice, it just keeps it stiff. So it still hurts, but it just keeps it from moving.
It helps you. It helps you when you're walking on it. But if somebody's like using their fist to hit it or kicking it,
it ain't gonna do much for you there.
Yeah,
but
that's what I'm saying. So theoretically, Gunther is wasting his time ripping the tape off. But however, it's such an awesome visual because it's like I see this injured part of you. I'm taking this one layer of protection that you have, and I'm going to injure you further.
Yeah, it's always a great little visual, and then it just like adds to the shit. Now he's really about to get him.
The spot where Matt Riddle did a senton on a Gunther, and Gunther turned it into a sleeper hold. Perfect. Unfortunately, they did that thing where they get him in a chokehold, but they don't have any like other way to get out of it other than just rolling over and getting up.
Yeah,
that's what they did. Kind of lost points for that for me. And then Gunther does something that I have never seen before in my life. He starts chopping Matt Riddle's injured ankle.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. And then he gets him in, I don't even know what do you know what the hold's called?
I believe it was a heel hook.
Okay.
Is what they would be calling it.
He gets him in a heel hook, and he actually gets Riddle to tap out immediately. And one, thank God that I think this feud is over. In fact, I know this feud is over. Two, Gunther's back to his traditional ways of not needing his henchmen to beat these peons that he has to share the ring with. And three, it was a fucking great match. What can you say? I hate Matt Riddle, but the motherfucker, he can sell, and I like his little suplexes. Just unfortunately, he talks and he has pigtails.
And painted nails.
But
yeah, he can go. Like, serious Matt Riddle is a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was saying. I think I'm seeing a pattern here. So your week to week non-title whatever, Gunther's gonna have the henchmen interfere. But then when it's like a title match, when the Intercontinental title's on the line, that's when you're gonna get your pure one-on-one, no interference. Gunther usually is gonna win.
And I suppose I can live with that. It's just I wish it was consistent.
Yeah, still he shouldn't have the interference thing. Like, I get it.
No.
You want to have Imperium like be part of the act, and that Imperium being without Gunther, you want to have them be like a part of the Gunther act.
Mm-hmm.
So on week to week television, you have them interfere. But hey, what if they don't interfere and they're just badasses in the tag team division, and Imperium's just this group of purist wrestlers who don't need interference and just win their matches, and they're still heel for some reason because people just don't like them.
They don't like wrestlers.
Yeah, but that could be Imperium. Just, the match sacred. We're gonna get in here. We're gonna beat you. It's gonna be clean, and we're just gonna out wrestle you.
They can just be badass Europeans.
Yeah, we're just gonna out wrestle you. Mm-hmm. You can't wrestle better than I can.
And the only thing heel about them would be that they're dicks.
Yeah.
I like that. I wish it was more like that as well.
But yeah, great match overall.
It was a great match.
Excellent finish.
Excellent finish, yes. Unfortunately, that was tainted by the dulcet tones of Drew McIntyre's stupid theme song. Comes out, challenges Gunther. He headbutts Gunther, and then does he do a Claymore?
We get a Claymore party.
Then he Claymores Gunther. So they're going to continue their feud from WrestleMania.
Yes. Now, no disrespect to Gunther when I say this.
You better watch it.
But
watch it.
Drew McIntyre has been gone since WrestleMania. There's a new title that's supposed to be the top of the card of the show that he's on, and he comes back to feud with the Intercontinental Champion. Not the main title. He comes back for the mid-card title. That makes no sense. Now, there was the rumors that they were going to bring him back and he was going to be heel, but I guess he didn't want to do that. So that's why he's going in for Gunther instead of Seth Rollins. But it just, I don't know. It just seems ridiculous that here you are, you're coming back. You bill yourself, you're in your eye, in the fans' eyes, you're a top guy. And here you are coming back and going for the mid-card title.
Well, the last time we saw him was when he went after a mid-card title. That mid-card title. So
right.
You could make since he lost the triple threat match, you can make the case that he still has unfinished business with Gunther, and he wants to have a chance to beat him one-on-one without Sheamus being around.
That's true. But I think since he was returning, they could have moved beyond that.
If it would have been Clash at the Castle, he went away for a while and then he comes back to feud with Gunther, I would agree with you 100%. But because he was already going for that title, then he went away and he's going for that same title, the same dude. The only difference is Sheamus isn't going to be involved. So now he has a chance to do it one-on-one just to see if he can do it.
Okay. I just thought it was a little ridiculous. But
I see what you're saying.
I can see your side too.
You're not wrong. It's just, I think he's continuing where he left off, which is my problem with it. It's already been done.
Yeah. So it looks like that's where we're going at SummerSlam. So
yeah.
Yay. I mean, it'll be a good match. So here's that.
Yeah. I mean, McIntyre can go. It's just, and of course, Gunther gets the best out of everybody. But it's, again, we've seen it.
Yeah, I think we should have moved on. But they want to tie up the loose ends. They
Yeah.
didn't want to turn him heel for whatever reason. Maybe he's just that big of a top guy that they want to keep him babyface.
I don't know.
But it just, I don't know. Seems weird that here we are. We got a new title. It's supposed to be the equal title to Roman Reigns, and you don't even go after it. Even more diminishing the importance of that title.
What I don't see is Cody Rhodes versus Rey Mysterio, and that's not true. I did see it. I just didn't know a better way to segue. So Ripley had a new haircut. She kind of reminded me of Luna Vachon. It's pretty cool. They kind of reminded me, they being Dominic and Ripley, they kind of remind me of like a even cheaper version of Mickey and Mallory from Natural Born Killers. Just that white trash. I got you, Dominic. I'll help you win. Kick him out. I don't know.
I've never seen it, so.
You've never seen Natural Born Killers?
No.
Oh, well, watch that after you watch Ronda Rousey get knocked
out. I got some homework.
Yeah. So Cody wins with a Cody Cutter. Or not a Cody Cutter. What is it? The Crossroads. He wins with a single Crossroads. Maria interfered a lot. I actually enjoyed the little Alabama slam spot that Cody did, where he was doing the little circles. At first, I hated it, but then that's really old school wrestling.
Yeah, that's a throwback right there.
Yeah. And so Cody wins clean, no issues. More importantly, no Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, boy, was I off on my predictions on this match.
Oh, yeah.
And boy, was I off. I thought Brock Lesnar was coming back, and that was just going to get Dom more and more over as a heel. But yeah, fell short on that. Cody Rhodes wins with a simplistic Cody Cutter. I'm sorry, a Crossroads.
Yes, yeah, I did it too.
Like, so simplistic.
Yeah, normally he does like 100 of them, but no, just one.
Yeah.
It was good. I mean, Dominic did this little cowardly heel shit and wasn't bad.
Yeah, I guess the highlights of this match was that Cody Rhodes ripped off the brace, so he no longer has a broken arm.
Yeah, magically healed.
Because he got so mad.
Yeah. Like, oh, by the way, his arm's fully healed. Well, then why was he wearing the brace?
Yeah, they mentioned that on commentary. Oh, yeah, we talked to the doctor earlier.
Yeah.
We forgot to tell you until right now.
Until right this second.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. But, yeah, that's the takeaway from this match.
Mm-hmm.
No Brock Lesnar.
Nope.
No Dominic getting more over as a heel. You know,
I don't know about that.
I'm going to make a comparison here for Dominic. So, if you remember, I'm comparing him to Randy Orton. Let's just get it out there. He could be this generation's Randy Orton.
No, he can't.
Yes, he can.
No.
And I'm going to tell you why.
I'll tell you right now why he can't.
Why?
He can't wrestle like Randy Orton.
It's not about the wrestling.
Yes, it is. It's fucking wrestling, dude. That's what it's called. Just because you and the rest of your ilk have lowered your standards to the point where this shit doesn't have to be believable or serious looking or good doesn't mean that it's still not wrestling. At the end of the day, it is wrestling. I will die saying that.
So if we take a trip down memory lane, when Randy Orton first came into the WWE,
he was awesome.
He was pretty much not connecting with the crowd. He was seen as like just this pretty boy. Yeah, he could wrestle, but he was just like a pretty boy. He was like flirting with women here and there, telling Kelly he just used her as a hole. And he wasn't really like, okay, this guy can be the guy or is a guy. He's a dude, you know? And then he got into this hardcore. Are you kidding me?
He was in Legacy and he was like pegged to be one of the guys to begin with. He was a third generation wrestler.
Well, I'm gonna say even then he was just a pretty face.
No, he was very good in the ring. He was Cowboy Bob Orton Jr.'s son. He already had that rub. He was in a stable with Ric Flair, Triple H, and Batista. So no, he was pegged to be championship material from the get-go.
I know they pegged him as being championship material, but I saw that I still didn't believe it. And then specifically Backlash 2004 Foley. And it was a hardcore Falls County or whatever you want to call it match. And Mick Foley came out as Cactus Jack. And this match was the match that said, okay, this guy's a dude. Like, I don't know, just the amount of punishment he went through in that match, getting the thumbtacks in his back, getting the barbed wire across his forehead, bleeding. at that point you saw him. Okay, he is someone. He's not just a pretty face. He can get his nails dirty. Yada yada yada. That now you don't have Mick Foley now, but that is what Dominic needs right now. He's just like a pretty face. We'll say if he needs to go through something, and I'm going to tell you who it is. By the way, he needs to go through something where he basically gets his ass kicked, but he puts up enough of a fight where you see, okay, there's something here. He is tough. He is gritty. He is the next generation. That person is Brock Lesnar. He needs to go and get his ass kicked by Brock Lesnar, but somehow make it enough of a fight to where, like, not 5 minute Brock Lesnar match. I'm talking about he's actually fighting back against Brock Lesnar. He actually puts some offense against Brock Lesnar. He goes through a Kimura. He goes through the F5s. He goes through Suplex City. You can even make it a hardcore match. He gets, the shit kicked out of him by Brock Lesnar. But at the end of the match, he's standing tall. Then we can say, okay, now he's a legit guy. He's a legit main eventer. I don't know why I got on that tangent, but I'm just saying there's one step to take Dominic from here to, you can't see my hands, but from here to here. And I put that parallel to what happened with Randy Orton. So he can be a modern day Randy Orton.
Okay.
See, I think about things sometimes.
I don't agree, but
you don't have to.
Yeah, I don't have to. Exactly. Anything else?
Nope. There was nothing really else about this match.
All right. So then we get a surprise visit from John Cena. He slurps on the fan's dick for a good 10 minutes. Then he says he wants to bring WrestleMania to London. Everybody freaks out. Then Grayson Waller comes out. Chance immediately chants, "Shut the fuck up." Waller says London sucks and WrestleMania should be in Australia. And then Waller invites John Cena to be on the Waller effect at the WrestleMania in Australia that's not scheduled to happen at all, ever. And Cena denies it anyway. And then Waller attacks Cena. Cena does the F5 or FU. And that was that. Did I miss anything?
No, it was pretty much a filler segment, I would say.
Yeah.
It's like they were.
That's exactly what it was. It was a fucking filler segment. And it was just whatever. Like, after the first 3 minutes of John Cena just saying, "Oh, but you are the lifeblood and the heart and soul, and I would suck each and every one of you off and
jerk you if you
yeah.
while you're waiting for your sucking, I'll jerk you."
And the Waller thing was whatever. I thought it was kind of funny how he did the little Australia thing, and then everybody called him a wanker.
Yeah, it was completely random. I do say shout out to Grayson Waller for 2 reasons. Number one, just another big moment. He's in there with John Cena. You remember he just debuted on the roster a few months ago. So he's been and then he has Edge coming up. So they just keep throwing him in these segments with these main event people. Now you may be asking, why has he not wrestled any of these main event people?
Because they're grooming him to be the next Miz. He doesn't need to wrestle.
No, actually, because on the last night he was in NXT, he broke his leg, but they yet still called him up, and that's why he's been doing talking segments. Now, obviously, he took a bump tonight, so I guess he's healed. But he did an interview, and he addressed why he hadn't been wrestling. It's because he said he broke his leg against Carmelo Hayes.
And they're grooming him to be the next Miz, so he don't need to wrestle.
Well, they still have the Miz. Why would they be the next Miz?
Because the Miz is like 100 now.
Nah, Miz ain't
going to be around forever.
Yeah, another 10 years of the Miz. So when Grayson Waller, he came out there, he spat off his stuff. John Cena said, "Here I am out here just spending time with my friends, and you came out here and interrupt me," which was a reference to his little viral video. He was at dinner or lunch with his friend, and a fan decided to troll him and ask him, "You can't see me," or something stupid.
Troll him?
And John Cena said,
No. John Cena he's sitting at an open, like one of those restaurants where the seats are right by the sidewalk. This nerdy sounding motherfucker says, "Hey, can you do the you can't see me?" And John Cena is like, "Say what? Yeah, you can't see me? Can you do that?" And then Cena very cuntily goes, "Can I enjoy dinner with my friends?" That's what happened.
Yeah. So
and then the guy said, "Oh, sorry."
Yeah, the fan apologized like a bitch. But enjoy your 3 seconds of fame, because I'm sure he got millions of views off of that. So there's that.
Well, I thought they were
was it a
bitches.
win? I mean, there's times if someone's sitting down eating, you don't go up to them and like, "Hey, can I get a picture?" Like a nerd. At least
I
catch them in the parking lot.
I get that in principle, but you got to understand that like John Cena's used to socializing with people like The Rock and minor and semi-major celebrities. This guy, he sees a celebrity for maybe possibly for the first time. Maybe John Cena is his idol. Maybe this is the first time in his life he'll ever get to say hi to John Cena. And what John Cena says is, can I enjoy dinner with my friends? That's the price of fame, motherfucker. You're a fucking millionaire.
That is
If you
not
don't
the
want
price of fame.
yes, it is. It's absolutely the
Like,
price of fame. If you want to have a private dinner with your friends, then have a private section of the restaurant quarantined off like you motherfuckers usually do. Don't sit on the fucking sidewalk if you want to be anonymous. If he doesn't want to be bothered, he wouldn't be sitting there.
well, I think there's an unwritten rule that if it's like a dinner, you don't mess with them. You leave them alone.
Well, if
Even you catch them going to the
again,
car.
this might be the only time this motherfucker has a chance to say hi to John Cena,
He
his
wasn't
idol.
even eating at the restaurant. He was just passing by. Like,
Because
you're not even
it was
paying customers.
open. It was where he was sitting. That's where he was. He was sitting literally right by the sidewalk.
So
It wasn't like the dude went into the restaurant and fucked with him. He was literally walking by the sidewalk. John Cena is on the sidewalk seat. He asked him something. John Cena was a cunt. The dude apologized, and for some reason the fan was lambasted for it.
well, because there's times you have. I was making.
I
Like a,
agree. I agree. There's times like when you see a man like with his family or something, but when you see John Cena with a group of dudes,
then you
it's not
really
like
should.
he's huh?
Like then you really shouldn't go up to him. He's like eating, you don't go up to him. And I'm going to tell you something here. So if you remember when we were in high school and we were in the mall, we were walking in the mall, and who did we see? The Hardy Boys, Matt and Jeff Hardy. Did we go over there? Hey, can you do the gyration thing? Which we didn't do any of that. We just said, "Hey, look, there's Jeff Hardy, there's Matt Hardy," and that was the end of it. We didn't like run over there. And what were they doing, by the way? They weren't doing anything. They were just shopping. And
I guess
we just pointed it out, and that was it. We didn't try to go get a picture. We didn't try to go get an autograph. It was just, "Hey, look, there's the Hardy Boys," and that was it.
you can't expect people to have the same standard as you though. Now I get it when like if you were taking a piss or something, yeah, okay, maybe let the guy shake off first. But if you
Yeah, looking over the
and if you
stall.
see
Hey, look.
and if you clearly see John Cena, he's with a woman and he's with children, like you can ascertain that that's his family. But if you see John Cena with a group of his boys, his friends, like he said, again, this might be the only time you ever run into John Cena. You can say whatever you want to him.
And also, you can do the selfie thing. They do that nowadays, where you take a selfie of yourself, and then in the background you got the celebrity. They can do that nowadays. You don't have to. Why are you talking to them? Hey, can you do this? You can't see me thing, you little nerd. I really thought he was trolling because I didn't hear the whole clip. It sounded like he was trying to say, because there's a whole meme thing about you can't see me and John Cena. Like, oh, there's John Cena. Where? I can't see him.
No, he just said, hey, can you go out? You can't see me. And then John Cena say, what? Can you do that? You can't see me. How about can I have lunch with my friends? Not family. He didn't say family. Not parents. Not Make-A-Wish kids. His friends. And he's on the sidewalk thing. And if you want to be a celebrity, if you want to have all these privileged positions, that's the price of it. If you don't want to be bothered, being either fucking eat at home or have one of them little sections of the restaurant quarantined off. Don't sit.
You can't tell people I don't want to be bothered. Oh, you don't get that privilege. You can't have privacy in public.
Don't be a cunt about it.
You can't go out and enjoy yourself because you made a few movies.
You can go out and enjoy yourself.
By the way, this was the actor. This is not you can't see me wrestler John Cena.
You can absolutely go out and enjoy yourself, but you can't be a cunt when somebody runs into you and recognizes you. And if you want that privacy, and if you just want to not be bothered, don't put yourself in the fucking. If you look at the restaurant, there's one little box. It looks like there's two chairs in that whole restaurant that are sidewalk seating. John Cena chose those chairs.
Maybe that's where they told him to seat. Maybe they were understaffed, and he's like, oh, we only have a table over there because it's the only
Please, John Cena could have said,
it's the only open table we have
I
right
don't
now.
want to sit by the sidewalk shit. John Cena's not a dumbass. He says stupid shit, but he's not a dumbass.
Oh, I gotta sit at the back because I don't want some little geek coming up to me saying, "Oh, can you do to not see me?"
He clearly doesn't.
Some virgin there. All right, let's go on.
Yeah. So we have the women's Money in the Bank match. Io Sky, Trish Stratus, Bailey, Zoe Stark, Becky Lynch, New York Zone, Zelina Vega, and did I say Trish Stratus? Or is that it? That's it.
That's the last one.
Okay. This was just a weaker version of the men's Money in the Bank match. However, they did have a good finish here as well.
Becky Lynch was cosplaying as Rogue, and it was accurate. So there you go. Or maybe she was Phoenix. I don't know. But she was definitely an X-Men character. I'm thinking Rogue, and it was accurate.
It wasn't accurate because she's not a superhero.
And Ronda Rousey's not a Super Saiyan.
She's close enough. She's closer to being a Super Saiyan than Becky Lynch is to being a fucking X-Men.
Except for the fact that Super Saiyans are male, and I know it's 2023. Never mind. Yeah, she's almost a Super Saiyan. Go ahead.
Trish's little head scissor things were awful. Part of the match where Trish and Zoe get Becky Lynch out on the floor. They're beating her up. Then they put handcuffs on her, but they don't quite get the handcuffs on. Becky breaks free. I don't know where the other girls are throughout all this because it seems like it goes on forever, but whatever.
That whole thing was lasted a long time.
Yeah, it was just them. It was all three of them. And the other, like Zelina Vega didn't do anything. Io didn't do anything. I didn't see Bailey. And then as soon as they were done, it was like, okay. Then Zelina Vega tries to get the briefcase and the other girls snap into action because I guess we're done with that. Fast forward, we got Becky Lynch and Bailey. They're climbing the ladder together. Io Sky, she jumps in, grabs both Becky Lynch and Bailey's arm, pulls them through the ladder, and takes the handcuffs that were on Becky Lynch's wrist from earlier and puts Bailey and Becky Lynch together. Then, to add insult to injury, she climbs over Bailey to get the briefcase. Io Sky's your winner.
Yes. Io Sky finally gets her moment in the sun and wins Money in the Bank. And I thought it was a pretty good match all in all. There was a few spots here and there that could have been better, but there were also some big spots that they did pull off, like Zelina Vega in the sunset flip. She did pull that off flawlessly on Zoe Stark. I liked the handcuff segment at the end. I liked the story that was told a little bit before that, where Io, she was pretty much clear and open to win the title, or I'm sorry, win the briefcase. She's at the top of the ladder all by herself, and all of a sudden, someone tips it over. Who that someone is? Bailey, her own damage control compadre, basically just cost her the briefcase.
She did cost her the briefcase.
Yeah, like it, and you know, Bailey had that remorse. Like, I mean,
she thought about it for a second. She was like, "Damn."
Yeah, and then they went back to that story, and Io.
Yeah, they played it off like Io wasn't aware that it was Bailey that pushed over the ladder. So later, Io helps Bailey. But then later on, Bailey handcuffs Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
To her. So
it was a great story there.
Yeah, neat little story. I wish they would commit to it. They keep like putting their little toe in the water of this damage control breakup.
I would say it's probably Io winning the briefcase probably spells the end of damage control.
I would hope so.
We're gonna finish the story out. They already told you that Bailey is out for herself and she's jealous and all the things because Io had that moment to win the title and Bailey pushed her off. So push comes to shove, Bailey wants the title for herself. Not like she can pretend to be happy for Io or Dakota, but when at the end of the day she wants it for herself. So that jealousy is going to start to come through, and that's going to be the end of damage control. Maybe they don't even make it to SummerSlam, and then that is what we have at SummerSlam.
The only drawback to Io winning is we won't get to see Asuka versus Io because they're going to have her lose to Charlotte or Belair.
Well, we might, because like I was saying, the women, they cash in Money in the Bank pretty quick, like within a few weeks. So if we get that triple threat match at SummerSlam, that means we're going to get a cash in before then. So Io versus Asuka. Now it should be at SummerSlam, obviously, but it looks like we'll at least have that match because she's going to cash it in pretty quick. Now it could go because remember I said Bailey is jealous and all that. She wants the title for herself, so they could go. And they've also been saying pretty much every week that the women have 100% success rate at cashing in Money in the Bank. That's a number. That's not when they throw it out there like that. They're telling you that something's about to happen. So maybe Io is going to cash it in on Asuka. Bailey's going to cost her the title, and then that brings us to SummerSlam. I'm not wanting that to happen because I want Io to get a title run, but
Right.
I'm saying maybe that's what's happening here.
Okay. Guess we'll find out.
We will.
But congratulations to Io. And that also makes it, I think so far all of my picks have been accurate.
I don't like talking about the picks. Those are just stupid.
Oh, we should talk about it.
I think no, I got Io right, but
You got
before
Io.
before that, I went over.
I got Priest.
Yeah, I didn't get the Money in the Bank. We didn't pick Gunther Riddle. I would have got that right.
Yeah, I would have got that right too.
Shayna Raquel, I would have got that wrong. We didn't pick that either because it wasn't announced yet. But I would have got that wrong.
Same. I wouldn't have expected the turn. Yeah.
I got Dom and Cody wrong.
Yep, I got that right.
I was down bad this time.
We both got the women. So
yeah.
There's that. And we both got the next one. So we have Finn Balor and Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight title. I honestly thought this was a pretty meh match.
Yeah, I was let down on this match. I know they can do a better match, so
of course.
I thought it kind of fell flat for them too.
Priest came out for like no reason. Like I thought he was going to cash it in. I honestly did, but then he just didn't. But he didn't do anything.
Well, he was out there to tease that he was going to cash it in.
Yeah, but
and then ended up costing Finn Balor the match.
Yeah, Balor's distracted, and Rollins hits a curb stomp for the win. And it ends with Balor being extremely pissed off at Priest. And they're yelling at each other. I don't get why he came out. But yeah, it's a good thing that the World Heavyweight title is just as prestigious as one of the 3 belts that Roman has.
Yes, because we were not in the main event yet.
No, and this did not feel like a main event match. This felt like a Raw match.
Absolutely. It felt like this should have just been a match on Raw. If I'm really being honest, I would say Cody and Dominic, for how it turned out, with just the one simplistic crossroads, that probably should have been a Raw match too.
Yeah. But I would say that the Dominic Cody match was a lot better than this one. I at least enjoyed Cody and Dominic to some extent. This, I was zoning in and out. I didn't care. I didn't care about Balor and his stupid, like, you laughed at me. Okay, well, you shouldn't have got hurt.
It was probably because they did the O thing for like 10 minutes before the match started.
Fuck. That's another. I can't stand Seth Rollins.
Like they did it for so you like zone out.
Yeah, I hate his gimmick. I hate the O. And now I hate the fact that they do like the 20-minute O spot
with the spotlight.
Just before the match. And for some fucking reason, Balor was just standing there listening to it when he could have just attacked him like he's been doing all for the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, just felt like the match never really got out of the starting block, and then we were at the end.
It was just there. But yeah, Rollins wins. He's still your heavyweight champion. Priest did nothing with the briefcase, so that's still an albatross, so to speak, around Seth Rollins' neck. They said something about an Edge package. Did you see that at all?
It was just pretty much documented Edge's journey, like him needing to retire and then coming back, and that was pretty much all it was.
Okay. So after that, a lady interviews Zayn and Owens, and they don't really say anything. They just say London's great and Usos are going to win.
It seemed like the only reason that whole thing happened was to get the crowd to sing Sammy's song.
I guess.
You know, because this era, they're really big into the singing.
Well, they have that 3-woe quota.
Yeah. Oh, go back, by the way. Speaking of singing, Cody Rhodes, when he came out, they sung like everything. They didn't just do the whoa. They like sung the whole song.
Oh, he got a hell of a reaction, yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy. Like, they were singing verse 2. I'm like, who knows verse 2? Like, I get it. You get, like, maybe you get up until the whoa. Like, you know that part of the lyrics.
Who knows that there's a verse 2?
Yeah, these people are singing verse 2. I'm like, who knows verse 2?
Oh, yeah. So now we're at the main event, the Civil War.
The main event of the evening.
We have the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, versus Solo Sikoa and the undisputed Universal 3-belt having, gonna main event, even if I'm a tag team non-title match, Roman Reigns. And this was great. Everything about it was great. The crowd was all over Roman from the time he walked out. Fuck you, Roman. If you hate Roman, stand up.
Yeah, I didn't get that one. Like, I'm sure that's something, but
yeah,
I didn't get
it. It was funny though. They were on him to the point where Roman just he sits down and starts pouting on the apron. So then Paul Heyman goes over to console him, and then Roman goes, "London's stupid. Why are we even here?"
Yeah. And these are a bunch of idiots.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, Michael Cole's like, there you go. He just insulted your people.
It was
So
great.
Barrett.
Solo looked particularly strong. It's just, they keep going back and forth with him. Like, we already established that Sammy could take him. So, I mean, and Cody beat him. So just the indestructible thing just drives me nuts with him. But for the most part, this whole match was just the Usos getting their ass beat.
Yes.
And then they...
It's more of a story than a match.
I guess. Yeah. So then they did the hot tag, and they got their momentum. And Jay actually did a rock punch. Did you see that?
I did not.
I can't remember if he was hitting Solo or Roman, but he's hitting him with the fist, and then he pulls back and he spits in his hand and he slaps him. I'm pretty sure it was Solo.
Okay.
It was a nice little touch. And I can kind of see main event Jay being a Rock, like just a more unpolished Rock, I would say.
Yeah, I mean he's well, yeah, kind of like a Rock but different because he doesn't have the charisma that the Rock has, obviously.
Yeah, he's not as pretty either.
Yeah, but he is like great on the mic. That's not taking anything away from him on the mic, but we're just talking about a Mount Rushmore of mic work.
So it's a Roman Reigns match, so that means the effeminate referee has to get bumped.
Boy, did he take a bump! I said, this dude hurt himself taking.
Yeah, it looked like he smashed his face.
Well, okay, so yeah, they bump into him, and then he falls out of the ropes. But as he's falling out of the ropes, like he catches his knee on the wrestlers, so Roman Reigns and Jay, he catches his knee on them, so he's rolling out of the ring, but his knee's stuck, so he like hits the ropes, and then you like really hear him go, ah! I'm like, he hurt himself trying to. I just thought it was so funny that he was taking this bump for this like little great little bump.
Yeah,
because they just barely bumped into him.
Well, it looked like he was holding his nuts too.
Yeah, but he was taking a bump for that little contact. And then rolling out of the ring, he hurts himself for real.
Well, it's just the way he.
Yeah, and then Michael Cole's like, you can hear the grimace on the referee because he really hurt himself, and he's like,
So after the referees out of the picture, Solo and Roman just kick ass. Solo hits a Samoan spike on Jimmy. Then he grabs Jay. Roman shares a look with Solo, and then he bounces off the ropes. Then he does a spear while Solo does a Samoan spike to Jay. Then Roman makes Solo drag Jimmy over next to Jay so he can pin them both at the same time, which he does. 1, 2, and then they kick out. And I gotta say, that was fucking exciting. I liked that. I don't know like how believable it is, but I got goosebumps. I didn't think for in a million years they were going to kick out of that. And then sure enough, they did.
Yeah, I thought it was over at that point. And this whole match was like a callback to the whole Tribal Chief journey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another touch. Like that was a callback to Daniel Bryan and Edge getting stacked up at WrestleMania. There was another callback with the low blow kick out. Just a bunch of stuff calling back to this whole journey.
Well, like you said, there was a low blow kick out. So then the Usos get the upper hand again, get the super kick party going on, and the Usos pin Roman Reigns.
Specifically Jay.
specifically Jay, pins Roman Reigns. And it was awesome. Great main event.
1,200, I don't have the exact number, 3 years Roman Reigns has not been pinned, and today that ended.
And Jay Uso is the one to do it.
Yes, which is, I mean, some people are going to have a problem with it. If you follow the story, the story started with Jay.
Mm-hmm.
It is just ironic that he is the one that gets the pin, and he's probably getting the match at SummerSlam. Now, that becomes in another conversation on whether or not he should be the one to dethrone Roman, and if it should happen now. But I'm sure there'll be plenty of time to debate that.
Right. And then, of course, we got the Solo angle. They're already starting to sow the seeds of dissension between him and Roman.
Yeah. And, yeah, they are. I liked in the match, though. So, like, right after the spike spear combo, and then Roman stacks him up. After they kick out, Roman is like sitting down. He's like, he doesn't know what to do. He's crying, literally crying.
Mm-hmm.
And Solo walks over to him and he's like, what?
Just beat him up. Yeah.
Like, Roman is just like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I'm defeated. And Solo's just like, he looks at him and then he just goes and starts kicking the shit out of him. One of them, and then Roman's like, yeah, do that.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful thing there.
Yeah, that was a good moment.
So it's almost like Solo took the lead there.
Yeah, if you were paying attention, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, his lead led to a loss.
Yeah, so he's probably going to blame Solo for that.
Yep.
And then that's going to lead to...
You should have just let him stay there. You should have kept kicking. I had them.
I lost because of you. Yeah. That was one thing. And then another little thing I picked up was when they were after the beatdown and Solo takes Jimmy out of the ring and he's going to put him on the announce table. Roman says, destroy him. I don't need him. I need him, pointing to Jay. That was another little thing to the story. He's like, I don't need Jimmy. I just need Jay. Destroy. I don't care what happens to Jimmy. So they're telling you where this is kind of going. So yeah, it's either going to be Solo or it's going to be Jay at SummerSlam. Maybe it's both. Maybe it's like a fatal 4-way.
Another Civil War.
Well, this one would be for the title.
Okay.
But I'm saying, yeah, early looks like we're getting Jey Uso versus Roman at SummerSlam for the title. Thus begins the debate on if Jay should dethrone Roman. Is it time now to do it? Is he the right person to do it? But we're going to get into that in another episode because that could be a whole episode in itself and clips.
Well, that about wraps up Money in the Bank. I think that wraps up the show.
If you disagree with anything, let us know in the comments. If you agree with anything, let us know in the comments. Don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, comment your favorite match of Money in the Bank. And is there anything else?
Just have a good night.
All right.